But we start with the question officials across Dallas are asking right now: how did someone get a gun inside Wilmer-Hutchins High School? Thanks for joining us. Izzy's off today, and I'm Chris Lawrence. Dallas ISD confirms one student shot another in the leg this morning inside a classroom. Wilmer-Hutchins is in southeast Dallas, right at the intersection of I-20 and 45. Here's a live look at what's happening there right now. Parents rushed to campus as soon as they got word, and we're going to dive into the frustration a lot of them felt being sent from one roadblock to another, unable to get to their kids. But first, an update on how all this went down. Dallas ISD and DPD officials just held a news conference this afternoon, and Superintendent Stephanie Elizalde called the incident unacceptable. She said she'll never get used to incidents like this.
I refuse to say that we will normalize these behaviors. I refuse. We can and we must eradicate these types of situations. We must all come to grips with the fact that the solution is a collective responsibility.
This afternoon, Dr. Elizalde pushed for new solutions to keep guns out of schools and emphasized the district can't solve this problem on its own. We have crews positioned around the area to give you the latest updates. Kevin Reese and Brittany Moncrief are both live outside the high school. So let's start with Brittany.
That's right, Chris. You know, many parents tell me that they're frustrated, and you can see it on their faces. For those who have students here at Wilmer-Hutchins High School, they were able to communicate with their children, and they knew they were okay. But it was the wait time to reunite and that process that became an issue. Now, Dallas ISD police tell us this all unfolded around 10:30 this morning. They say that a student brought a handgun to school, and that student shot another student in the leg while in a classroom. Now, the high schoolers were immediately placed on lockdown, as well as the elementary school that's next door. The district credits the quick action of the teacher in the classroom where the shooting happened for preventing any other injuries. They say that teacher was able to direct the student away from the school and give aid to the student who was shot. Now, police did arrest that shooter. Now, we spoke with a student who describes the moment the lockdown went in place and parents concerned about school safety.
I was really worried because I had friends over there. All my friends ran. We're all so scared. I'm shaking right now.
They said that, the kid snuck the gun in the school. I'm trying to see how did he sneak the gun in the school, and y'all all got to go through metal detectors.
Now, that student that talked about the concerns for safety in the school also talked about having concerns about bag checks. She said that is not thorough enough, and actually other students here on the campus tell us the same thing. And then we also saw earlier today that the high school was released first, and then the elementary school students were released. And some students are still behind me coming out now. Those are students that weren't able to get picked up earlier today. Now, again, thankfully, no one else was injured. However, police are still working to find out what led to this shooting in the first place. And our Kevin Reese is also here at Wilmer-Hutchins High School. And Kevin, I hear that you spoke with a lot of parents who are also frustrated as well.
Extremely frustrated, and we should mention that the superintendent at that same afternoon news conference said they did not want to rush the reunification process. They wanted it done efficiently, they wanted it done right, but at the same time, the parents, as Brittany said, were receiving a lot of conflicting information, so for them, this was a very frustrating process.
They won't even tell you no answers or nothing. When you ask the cop, they don't give you no answers. They just tell you to get back.
That you feel helpless because you can't get to your son. You can't get to your heart, to your joy.
Now they're telling us we can't get them until they give them the okay that we can get in there. That's bull.
Their frustration was not just with the roadblocks set up at every corner, but that police sent them from roadblock to roadblock looking for answers. And they kept telling them to go to another one and then to another one. But then this video at 2 o'clock, the roadblocks were opened and the parents in one long line at the high school were allowed to pick up their kids one by one as their names were called. But this did not happen with rave reviews about how this was all handled.
And they treat us like toys because they couldn't let us inside or be closer to the school. They were saying that they were going to release the kids from this side and to the other side. And I don't think I think that the district is not prepared for this situation.
That being said, this can be a difficult campus to get to. We're bordered by I-20 and I-45 on the right, a lot of country roads around here, even though we are also surrounded by a large number, seemingly endless number of warehouses here in Hutchins, so it was difficult to get from one spot to the next. Even so, these frustrations from parents being sent to administrators who will be looking at how to handle situations like these, hopefully not too many or any more situations like these. Chris?
Certainly hope so, Kevin. Thank you very much. You know, we've been speaking with so many parents this afternoon about the shooting itself and a lack of communication. You can listen to their responses tonight at 7 on WFAA Plus, and stay with us for the latest developments on air and online at WFAA.com.